Mm. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Am I aware? Am I up
Yeah.
now?
Uh-huh. You're probably still
Okay.
hooked up here and there.
Okay. So yes, I've got to spring into action,
Hmm.
even with like I'll like look at like my pieces parts like oh, I still got this one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, gotta make it work.
Hmm.
Um, Now, am I in the same facility as like the hatchlings?
Well, no, you're in the same vehicle,
Okay,
but you're in the
so my
nose of the
first.
ship and the cargo and whatnot. The lab, the brood lab, is
Right.
half hospital, half cargo, is toward the back there. I haven't really
Okay,
mapped the
yeah,
ship in
that's
my head,
the
I'm sorry to say.
yeah. I always imagine it as just another hybrid that
Oh,
has been augmented to be the ship.
oh wow.
You know what I mean?
No, I didn't
Like
realize that. Oh wow. Okay.
well, no, this is just me. This is
Hmm.
my musings. Like basically, like all our technology is made for us by us.
With you.
So
Yeah.
it's like we've got
Using
hivers
you.
that farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like hivers that farm, hivers that we make into
Mhm.
ships, and essentially
I
grow
quite
or
like this
graft.
idea. No, I quite like this idea. Okay, so it is sort of a weirdly repurposed,
Yeah, like
hiver that probably its nervous system and actual structure are no longer are only barely recognizable for what it once was. Um,
yeah, that's the way
mhm.
I imagine it. Like
Okay,
like when like we probably don't shoot lasers. We probably shoot like goop
right,
that burns and
right,
plasma or something. So yes, I get up and I'm running toward the cargo wherever the 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 nascent queen is or
right,
whatever.
right,
It's like okay, I
right.
gotta let go. Come on, we
So you've got to use your jets and
right.
clambering, right, with all your legs, on things. And so and it is more a matter of resisting since you're going toward the rear of the ship and the ship is traveling forward. Your real problem is not being basically
Mhm.
dragged and smashed forward, of where
Yeah,
as you're going.
exactly.
So
Or being shot through a cannon.
mhm. And so that's exactly right. So you're actually sort of resisting going where you're going rather than seeking,
Right.
dragging yourself. So the now that we know this, the anatomical equivalent of the inside of a hiver is,
Right.
for the layout of the ship is probably recognizable to a hiver biologist, even if it is all totally repurposed and rebuilt. Um, but yes, you will be um, in there, and you will find that the integrity has been compromised pretty badly. There's crack. I mean, there are disasters beyond what any hiver would ever dream of. I mean, cracked and smashed, eggs. Um,
Okay. Yeah, this is
and
not good.
no, this is terrible. And the coordination of the individuals who are supposed to be taking part in all of this is poor. They are not. They're doing things like trying to do emergency salvage on hatchlings that have been smashed, and something you could do with an individual one. That is something you could do, but it's not really appropriate in this larger situation where any of them could be further damaged, at any second. As far as the where the brood mother is, there is, and this is probably why the technicians aren't being very organized. Um, you can't see into that particular chamber, but it is, well, it's giving off vapor and smoke, and doesn't seem likely that anything's alive in there.
Oh no,
Right?
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, can we get through that door?
the door into
The queen's chamber, if there
right,
is one.
right. Well, yeah, you could actually it's think of it as a cockpit, because you see this module inside the ship is the big brood pod that's supposed to go down to the planet,
Right.
right? So she's all set up in there. And that's where they were taking care of the hatchlings. It's not like they take care of them one place and then load the pod. No, the pod is where where we do this on the way. So everybody's
Okay.
all set up for, I mean, automatically is all set up for delivery to the planet. It's just that this pod seems to have undergone something terrible. And the ship itself probably at this point does a spin that is a true spin in the inside.
Right.
Right. So everything, just goes around and on the longitudinal axis, and the pod itself, like the brood pod itself, is cracking and splintering.
Okay.
It's looking really terrible. I mean, is the ship going to burn up? Is it going to blow up? Is it going to crash?
Yep.
I mean, take your pick.
Well, do we have escape pods? Can we jettison the brood queen?
The queen herself is integrated with this big pod, right? It's supposed to be able to go down to the planet by itself. So if you wanted to, you could talk about that, getting that entire pod with like the hatchlings in it and the queen to actually go down to the planet properly, off schedule and technologically kind of, put it on, try to do it manually, as it were.
Right.
Or if you, but to actually make her little pod. Go ahead. Uh-huh.
I've got an idea.
Okay.
Can I call all hands on deck and tell them that we need to cluster, meaning we need to form like that protective shell around the queen?
Mm-hmm.
And once it jettisons, essentially that outer skin will be hivers that hopefully we're inside an atmosphere, so we're not burning up. But if we are going to burn up, we basically make like an out of carapace outside of her, so that basically she jettisons with us.
Right. Now, so tell me, how big an object are you planning on doing this with? Is it just the queen, and you're going to leave all the hatchlings? Because there aren't any patriarchs.
Right.
So
we're
queen.
We're going to have to take everyone. So it's
right.
I'm not sure what the crew complement would be like on one of these ships, but whatever it is.
If you call everybody, it's big enough.
Okay,
but that's everybody. That means the ship itself is a write-off if you do that.
It's going to have to be, because I can't imagine, like, the most important thing is right here. The ship could explode, but as long as the colony survives, and the colony is the queen. So that is what has to happen here. So that's what I'm, all hands on deck.
Right. At this point is where Hita looks up and says, "That's funny. That I haven't seen a meteor like that before."
Yeah. That's right.
And
that's a meteor.
So at this point, what action, looking at your sheet, Helma, what sort of thing is Hita up to?
Before or after I saw that funny falling star?
Before.
Oh, I'm at the area, and I'm starting to look for any cracks that could be widened and worked into a hive structure. I'm a little bit concerned about the constant storms, but I hope to find some corner where it's quieter so you can get into and out of the hive.
Exactly. There may be some way where the natural environment actually protects you.
So I'm basically looking for a place that would give some natural
now this actually
features to start off.
In the course of events, given the planned weeks and months that Hita would have had to do this properly, there wouldn't be a role. You would have found somewhere. Now I want to know if you can find it, even though you don't know how urgent this is, how good a job are you doing right now so that you end up with, a good result. And this isn't, as I say, you are yourself not in a state of urgency. You don't know this whole terrible situation. And so therefore 2 dice. it's a hard thing to do, but you also are highly specialized to do it. So this is something you do.
You too, my too, for surveying. So
Yeah.
I know there's a perfect place in this area because I picked it.
Right. Now it's
I
time to
just
set it
have
up.
to find the exact place.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 dice.
Mm-hmm.
And a success.
Great. Do you want to die or do you want a?
I can describe this place.
Mm-hmm.
So I find some kind of creek that starts widening, and when you get into it, it's getting calmer and quieter, and you have a little platform where you can stay safe. And there are some cracks in the mountain. And when I start probing, part of the wall falls off. So part of the mountainside actually falls off, and there is a nice Hiver-sized hole.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get into it, there are actually natural caverns. And I'm a little bit surprised because I didn't count on that, but it looks
All right.
really good. So
Excellent.
I'm just taking a look around, and it seems quiet and nice and dry. And then I'm getting out to communicate that I found the perfect place, so they can.
Right. And at which point we spot the meteor.
Which is when
Exactly.
What's happening there.
And Jerry, I'm getting the idea that you're not very discriminate with your all hands is like every imaginable communication, technology you've got, right? You're just communicating to everybody.
Oh yeah, it's everyone. If I see, like, since there are hatchlings here, it's like over there.
Well, that's actually an interesting point. There is the interior of the pod. I don't think there have been any hatchlings outside of the sort of nursery pod, ship yet. But Renee, the welcome to the world. Right?
Well, yeah. I wake up to a world that's shaking and lights are going on and off probably. Hear a lot of noise and fire. I get very excited and look for the rest of the hive and try to help.
There's a whole bunch of squishy other egg pods, all around. Yours is open, and so many of your compatriots are moving feebly inside them, like you must have been recently. And the only sort of obvious place to go at this point, because you're in a chamber, you're like inside something, and the only really obvious place to go is up into a forward secondary chamber of some kind. And you had mentioned, all this fire and stuff like that, and certainly up there is intermittent gouts of flame up in there. So either you hunt around for some kind of way out here, which isn't immediately obvious, or go and check that area out.
Okay. Can I expedite the hatching of the other ones? Maybe help pull open a couple pods?
Sure, if you want to. Yeah.
Try to yank them out and be like, it's time to move. Get out. Wake up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably my first order.
Okay. Do you have, I'm wondering if that's really a role type thing. It's not like anything's really stopping you. And I think hivers have super good instincts about this, so it's not like you're so ignorant that you'd actually destroy them by accident or something like that. That doesn't sound very hiver. So yeah, you can go ahead and start opening those things. I don't see a role in that yet.
Okay.
But it's at that point when when Hita sees the meteor above, that's when Hiver, in the huge communication call, it goes out through the communications of the ship into, and you actually get the message down there on the planet. Hita gets the message, A total emergency, drop everything, protect the egg pod, everybody, time to die for the hive. Let's do it, right?
That's right.
And you're kind of like,
Okay, they'll get the coordinates. They can
right.
try to get as close as they can.
Aha. There we go. Okay,
I
so
mean, I can't do much else down here.
Right.
Yeah.
I have at least to try to get them close.
Mhm.
We get a message back. Hey, I found a good place for us to stay.
pretty
Yeah.
much. But you're very wrapped up right now. But when you call others to you, there's a lot of information sharing, especially electronically, and that data will become instantly known to everybody. The more they kind of attach and glom on. It's suddenly just adopted that. Well, we know where we're going. So that is the case. What traits are you going to be using, Jerry?
I was looking. This is a hard one for. I guess it's got to be the protector annihilator of the matriarch.
That's a good question. Which one you're doing at the moment? But go on. Yes.
Yeah, I know, huh? It's like basically it's like I'm trying to protect this colony, really. So that one, or if to fail the hive is to fail all hivers, and they're both rated at the same trait, so I'll probably go with the protect the matriarch since that seems to be where the business is. It's like everyone, we gotta do this.
So let's get your dice ready.
Oh no.
Now, as Hatch is connecting with the other hatchlings and various antennae are touching and all the various scents start to emerge, what they're all basically looking for is basically mommy smell. In the proper sequence of events, that would be delivered in a very organized fashion. I mean, we don't live in we're not our ancestors after all. This is done in an organized way with lots and lots of nurses and lots of rooms, and it's all very civilized. Well, this is not a civilized situation, and the claimer for what the hatchlings literally need, I mean, like physiologically need, in order to begin to function in terms of pheromones and stuff like that, is not forthcoming. So
yeah, that's rough.
Mm-hmm. So there's the question is, what are you going to do, and whether what are you going to investigate? What are you going to? Yeah, tell me what you do.
Yeah, so essentially, quickly, opening up, one egg sac, and it's kind of almost like bubbles. Like I tell one, go get the rest, and that one goes, and then he tells the same, and it's just it happens so quickly because it's the same mindset, and it's like find a safe space, go above, So we try to form our own little hive as much as we can with the information we have, because I don't know what the broodmother, if she's even saying anything, the matriarch, if there's anything that she can provide for us. If not, then it's just
you can go and investigate. I mean, and not it's not that your character knows the layout of the ship. It's just that you instinctively know Mom must be around here somewhere.
She must be. So yeah, then we'll try to find that. I think he's mentioned a place above that seemed like. Yep. So that's where once you're free, that's where